Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our weekly market update. Today I've got Josh and Maddie with me. How are we, guys?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Thanks, mate.
Good, thank you. Yeah, a little bit of drizzly weather for a couple of days. It's starting to feel like autumn now after
It reminds you that we don't have endless summer. It's fun.
It was super hot there last week. We were just like, this is better than summer weather for a couple of days.
Yeah.
And then it was, definitely some cool nights. I think a few people have commented that the wood heater's got lit on the weekend, so that's sort of
Definitely, yes.
big dark mornings and all that stuff happening. So changing of the seasons and changing of the sporting seasons, with everybody's sort of all the summer sports finishing and all the winter sports starting up. So lots of the clubs that we sponsor are all just out and about in training now and ready for their first matches over the next couple of weeks. And lots of kids sport ramping back up. So it's all that stuff's happening, which has meant that now's a really good time to buy a house before you move and rent before all that starts. If people are even ready to move. It's probably the first couple of
days.
last few 3 days before new routines are set and everybody gets on with life. So what's happening with rentals? Are we still flat out and not very many properties available?
Yeah, we have 9 available at the moment.
That's good.
It's spiked a little bit.
Yeah.
Some people just changing areas, like so they've had a bit of sea change. They're deciding not to move in the Hill Valley, so that's opened up a couple more properties, which is very good.
Yeah.
They are higher end properties, which I thought would be interesting to see how that went. But more popular than they were when they were advertised probably like 6-8 months ago.
Okay.
So really interesting. We've got a few that have been more popular again since they were advertised like a year or 2 ago.
Yes.
So we leased 2 of 103 Main Street. That's a new property.
Yeah.
That was a unit, and we weren't sure how that would go given all of the newer units that have been recently, but leased it very quickly, so which is great. We also had 13 Frederick Street in Signet. That went pretty quick too, very popular. 38 Mountain River Road though, we have 10 applications. We've got another open home there today at 4:30, and there are already 10 people registered. So you can't pick what properties are doing. It's just everything at the moment. Everybody wants everything.
The housing shortage in general.
So. Which I mean, it's tough because we were doing so well trying to combat the housing crisis, and I feel like we're going backwards now. But I mean, it's good for landlords.
Very competitive market for tenants, and I guess there's probably ever been a few people push into the rental market from the sale market and from affordability factors with the last couple of years too, with the interest rates increasing. It's probably pushed people back to rent instead of buy. So what about sales market, Josh? What's been happening and how have the open homes been this weekend?
Yeah, look, albeit we front a bit of weather there on Saturday morning into the afternoon, Nick, it was still numbers getting through. People are still about, and I think really it's a little bit of a supply and demand at the second. I think there's a lot of buyers out there, and so if you're thinking about listing your house, I think reach out, get us through there and have a chat. Don't be worried about season change or, it's out of summer, I can't sell my house. I think get us in and get it on the market because the inquiry is very high. And the inquiry will turn into transactions. So.
Sections of the market with that supply and demand. Like we were discussing the other day what a typical sort of 3-bedroom home around Gilmville and Ranelagh was doing 6 months ago versus now, and the supply and demand factors have shifted dramatically. So that same sort of property that could have had an appraisal 6 months ago might have had a very different result right now compared to what they would have a while ago from those.
Charlie, I just feel there's definitely buyers watching the market closely, waiting for that property to pop up. So if you're thinking about listing, get us in and have a chat.
And how many people did we have through? There was about half a dozen open homes or so.
And there were still consistent numbers. Like even I done one on Sunday down at Deep Bay, and we still had a couple of groups through. And if people are coming out on their weekends, especially when the weather is miserable, that means we've got keen buyers. So consistent numbers across all.
Cool. All right, well, I think that's probably all to address today. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, and we'll see you next week on the update.